We're calling this September committee public session to order. I note that some of the participants are participating via video conference. Today's board meeting is also being live streamed from the Port Authority website. If we could just have a little quiet in the back, please. We will now hold the public committee meetings, starting with the Committee on Operations, which I'll chair. We will conclude the public portion of today's meeting with the public board meeting. We'll now start the public session of the Committee on Operations. Earlier today, the committee met in executive session to discuss matters related to the purchase, sale, or lease of real property where disclosure would affect the value thereof or the public interest. At this point, we ask the board secretary to advise of the composition of the committee and any commissioner recusals.
Thank you. The Committee on Operations includes the Chairman O'Toole, the committee chair, Vice Chairman Linford, the committee vice chair, and Commissioners Kelly, LaBarbera, and McCabe. In addition to the committee members, Commissioners Bolwage, Eve, Vine, Fisher, Richardson, and Rosado are also present. There are no recusals required.
Thank you. I now call our Port Director, Bethany Rooney, to present an item that authorizes a new operator agreement for the Brookfield Place and Hoboken Ferry Terminals.
I've become Bethany today.
Well, my wife is Bethany, you know that, so
I didn't know that, so
I apologize, Bethany.
All right, you can call me Bethany then anytime you want. Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm here today to talk about the ferry service that we operate in New York Harbor. We have been contracting for the operation of a ferry service between the Hoboken terminal in Hoboken and the Brookfield Place terminal in Lower Manhattan, right across from World Trade Center. We've had a contract with Port Imperial Ferry Company since 2003. Port Imperial does business as New York Waterways, which is the company that I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with. The ferry service augments the PATH service, so when there is a disruption to PATH, whether planned or unplanned, the ferry service is able to provide transportation for our PATH customers. The current agreement with New York Waterways is set to expire at the end of October. Going back to January of this year, we issued a request for proposals that was publicly advertised to secure another operator or a new operator for our service. The scope of the contract is to operate and maintain both the Brookfield Place Terminal and the Hoboken Ferry Terminal, to provide the transportation service between those two ferry terminals. And then at both locations, we have the ability to provide slots or ferry landings for other ferry services or dinner cruise vessels that need a location to land. So the contract would allow for this entity to administer those slots on our behalf, and then, of course, to continue to provide alternative service for PATH when needed. So with the RFP that was issued in January, we received 3 proposals, which were evaluated by a multidisciplinary team throughout the selection process. New York Waterways was identified as the best, highest proposal. So we are seeking to continue to authorize New York Waterways to operate this service on our behalf, but with very significant and new contract terms. So the enhanced ferry service would change from what is today every 20 minutes to every 10 minutes during peak weekday hours. New York Waterways has committed to implement new customer service amenities in both of the terminals, including heated waiting rooms, better passenger display systems, vending machines, and more. The community concerns, particularly on the Manhattan side, were very important with regards to this contract. There have been many issues with it pertaining to noise from the ferries and pollution from the ferries. So as part of this contract, we are requiring that the operator begin to deploy hybrid vessels that would be burning both diesel and running an electric engine, with the requirement that they would run the electric engine while they're alongside in both Hoboken and Manhattan. So while our requirement is that that would have to be in place by 2029, New York Waterways has committed to us that those hybrid vessels would begin operating in 2026. 3 years ahead of the contractual obligation. As I mentioned, New York Waterways would continue to cross-honor PATH customers. They will do that at a lower rate, 75 cents less per passenger than what they have been doing it at. They have committed to all of our MWBE and SDVOB requirements. We estimate that the revenue from this contract over the term of the agreement will be $10.9 million. And we have also shed about $3 million of Port Authority capital investment and put that obligation onto the new operator, or the incumbent operator under a new agreement. So today, Commissioners, I request your authorization of a new 15-year agreement with the Port Imperial Ferry Corporation, doing business as New York Waterways, to operate and maintain the ferry terminals in Hoboken and Lower Manhattan, and to provide the ferry service between those two terminals.
Thank you,
Happy to
Beth
take
Ann.
any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners? If not, have a motion from a committee member, not recused?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, moving ahead, the motion's passed, and that concludes today's meeting on the Committee on Operations.